Now we're ready. So I wish everyone a very warm welcome at this webinar, Unleash Your True Potential. This is actually for Carsten and for me a very special webinar. I will explain it to you right away. My name is Devi. I'm Carsten's partner, life partner, but also partner in teaching and offering the things we do from our heart. And I will introduce a little what we are doing, but Carsten will do the talking today. In fact, we have been teaching now for a few years together and also worked out a concept that's called Tao and Qigong, the art of living. And actually tonight we want to explain how we got to this concept. And you will discover what actually Carsten's motive and our motive, our reason is for teaching. Because you can go to a teacher or a master or a school, and it's always important to know what is the motive, what is the philosophy that they want to give you. And this is also tonight what we want to show you. What is our motive? Why do we do the things we do? Is it merely for healing? Is it because we really want to bring more energy, like many Qigong, Tai Chi teachers do? Or is there another motive? Is there like a spiritual path maybe we are going? And how do we do that? And so Carsten's motive, as was written in the email, is actually that he has his roots in Taoism, in Tao, but he actually always wanted to realize, understand what reality and mysticism is. And this is like a red thread, like something underneath that's always in our teachings. And I think this webinar will clarify how we do it, why we do it. So this is also Carsten's personal story, and I hope you enjoy this evening. You're also welcome to share in the chat. I will check this and then I'll pass the questions or feedback to Carsten. So enjoy your evening. I pass the microphone to Carsten now, and then we talk later after the webinar. If there are any questions, it's also open. And as you know, there will be also like an interactive part with meditation and a mantra session. Okay, enjoy. You can put on your microphone now, Carsten.
Can people see me? Yeah, okay. So welcome everybody. And yeah, we are at different places now, but we are actually energetically connected. And I want to tell you a little bit of story. And I also will follow my heart to do this, and I will try to touch your heart. So just, if possible, be relaxed when you listen, and maybe take your coffee or tea away and just join this energy field, because it also will end up in the kind of meditation we do together. This webinar is about unleashing your potential, of finding, developing your potential, and also has to do with energy centers, how to open them, or in yoga language, how to open the chakras, and how is this connected with the potential. I prepared some theoretical, by the way, there's a microphone in the background, Davey, which
that's me.
Yeah. I prepared some slides for you also, but it's starting with a short story. So why do I speak about chakras and energy centers as a major topic? And I come from the Taoist path, as you know, so I'm not from the yoga path. So this actually, because David just told my story when I was young, how it started, actually started when I was 10 years old, about 10 years or 11, and I even don't remember totally because so long time ago, I saw in a living room one aquarium with the fishes inside. And suddenly I felt a bit shocked, or I couldn't explain that. And I looked to the aquarium and I had the feeling, my God, the fishes think that this is their reality, the aquarium, but they know nothing about the world around. And in this moment, I realized that maybe it's the same for us humans. That we, in a kind of a bubble where we feel everything is real, but maybe there's something deeper which holds all this place together or is connected with this place. Well, of course, this is more a metaphor or a picture, but it was always in the heart since this moment. And this led me later on to study Taoist practice and other wisdom practices. This actually started then the real practice when I was 14, and it has to do with developing your potential or unleashing your potential. When I was 14, I saw a Shaolin Kung Fu movie, and it played in a monastery. Oh, and I felt so fulfilled to see that, because at that time we were hanging out in school, some people were smoking cannabis, and everyone didn't want to move. And then I saw this Kung Fu movie where people did Kung Fu practice, but also healing. I saw people meditating and old men saying important words, and others did acupuncture. And I just felt, this it is. This it is for me, for this life. But also what I sense is, for this life, we need a real box of things, a box of tools to deal with all the things here. With our health, with crises, with life itself, and also to get wisdom to understand this world. And this was so fascinating for me in the beginning, that medicine was connected with wisdom, with martial arts, with stability, with philosophy. And philosophy is also about making a good decision at the right moment, or what is my next step now to improve, to become healthy, to develop my life and my potential. So you see, from this beginning, already there is this feeling different practices interact to a deeper whole. So this led me into martial arts, and some of you know this, so I did martial arts quite long and studied Chinese philosophy, went to Taiwan for 3 years, learning Kung Fu, Qigong, Tai Chi, but also Chinese classical language and more things, also spending some time in monasteries. But when I came back to Hamburg University, I had the feeling I'm slowly getting old. I was already 25. And I thought, my God, I don't know if I get any job with these things here. So maybe good first to make a degree, because I was master in Chinese philosophy and literature. Yeah. So this is the master's study I did. But I had to write a degree, and I went to my professor. And this was actually a shocking moment for me. And I went to my professor and I said, can I make a degree with you, so a master thesis, so that I'm not getting really old here, so I can go on, to improve in real life? And he said, yes, of course, and I know something very good for you. I said, what? Write about Qi. Write about the Qi, the energy, Qi, in ancient China, and the philosophy, and how this word developed and what this is. And for me, it was like a shock. I listened to him and I felt, oh my God, I write about Qi now, I will have no work all my life. Who is interested in that? Yeah. I will be totally lost. Yeah. And I told him this, and he said, if you write about something else, you will never finish here. All this stuff needs long time. Yeah. But you do this Qi stuff anyway. Yeah. With the Qigong and Tai Chi and the Kung Fu and all this meditation. And I told him, yes, but the problem is, even the Chinese don't know what this is. It's a Qi, it's just a word. Actually, translated in German, it means air. Yeah. Qi, for example, is an air wheel, it's a car. So Qi is very often used as a normal word for air. So I told him the Chinese don't know what this is. And then he said, so then you can research this out. I didn't know at that time that this will change my life. Because I researched, sorry my English, researched is past tense, yeah. 2 years about Qi, and I read many books about this, but I also interviewed a lot of Qigong masters. Everyone who came to Hamburg, to Germany, I went there, interviewed professors. Actually, this was also the reason why I met Master Chia very early, with whom I studied then later for many years. Because of this thesis, I went to his class. And I also interviewed people in Hong Kong and Taiwan, and always asked these questions also later on when I met different masters. But what I didn't expect before is many books I read about Qi and the meaning of this Qi in old China and also in Qigong were disappointing for me, because I felt this was some literature guys writing this down, or something like copy paste at university. You copy a passage from an old book and then you try to explain it for people in our age or at our time. But suddenly I got one book. This was from Dr. Motoyama and was about Qi and the interaction with also Qi and Prana, also Qi, Prana, meridians, chakras, religion and parapsychology, all connected. So it was about the essence of meridians, chakras, religion and parapsychology. So he explained deeply what is Qi. This is so important for you to know the story, because what is my competence to talk about Qi or chakras? And it comes actually from Motoyama's book. So I had this book in my hand and I felt, oh my God, I was actually shaking a little bit. This is a book full of truths. This guy really knows what he's saying there. And I looked, it comes from Tokyo, and they have a research center, and even more, also university, to research Qi, chakras, meridians, energy, and all kind of shamanism, religion, different schools, traditions, and they develop machines, also a special machine called AMI, if I remember right, which can check the qualities of the chakras and the energy center. So, and then I found out Dr. Motoyama is also a kind of high yoga master, or people say an enlightened yoga master, at the same time a Shinto priest and a scientist, and has a lot of psychic abilities. So I went to Japan because I said, I want to meet this guy. I went to Japan to his university, and I came there with empty hands. Actually, I was 29 or something. And I said, I want to meet Dr. Motoyama. And then the director of the university just laughed. You know, in Japan, this is a hierarchy. And I was not introduced to anybody. I just came here by myself, just booked a flight over, went to the university. I said, I want to see Dr. Motoyama. And he said, no chance. Sorry, this man is very busy. He's already 70 years old. No way. Okay. But he said, you can call me back in a week or something. I said, okay, maybe last hope. So I waited a week and then I called back. Oh, I had good luck. The guy was so excited. Yes, Dr. Motoyama wants to meet you. And wow, I couldn't believe that. So I had a one-by-one talk to maybe in my eyes, from my view, the word most how to say qualified person to talk about, yeah, the word most qualified person to talk about chi, chakras, and energy. And I was so happy. He told me many things. I got many books there and many insights, but also we had a heart-to-heart connection, which was really nice. And then I asked the director when I went out, so actually, you said there's no chance to meet the guy. Why Dr. Motoyama wants to meet me now suddenly? And he said, this was surprising for me, because this lifetime, this will be your main topic, to explain chakras, energy, and all these things. I said, what? My God, I was really a little bit, couldn't believe that. So you see, this story of having to write a thesis in Chinese philosophy, and my professor said, please write about Qi, which I didn't want. I felt I will be jobless. Sometimes I still feel like that. But this coincidence brought me to a total different angle, and through Motoyama's work, and also later on I went to his second university in near San Francisco or Los Angeles, in the middle there, in America. So all this knowledge which I got from there gave me a total different understanding of mysticism and also of what life might be. And I believe from the research they made there, and from my own experience over the last 40 or 45 years, and now 30 years ago, I was at the university, that everything they do there, or they write there, is true. This is my belief. Even I can't go in all deep dimensions, but many things have been proven for me later. So, and what touched me most is actually all these religions, all the different traditions actually have one point only, is you open your inner potential, you open the chakras, you open the energy centers for a deep connection with this life, which culminates into experience of oneness. This is beyond our ego world. And yeah, I can talk more about this a little bit and how actually from my experience we can do that. But if you like, I'll show you some pictures first, maybe also easy to follow or more easy to follow. So please, let's have a look. You see, sorry, yeah, these are the, one second, yeah. These are the major chakras. So they have 7 chakras in the yoga philosophy, and chakras are quite famous nowadays if you hear. And every chakra has different abilities. So here most important is that we understand the chakra is not just an energy center. And if you see the next picture, the Muladhara chakra, which is near the coccyx area, is actually the seat of Kundalini. We come to Kundalini later. So it is where an inner power, which is in us, but it's not developed, it's not unleashed. It didn't come out normally but it can come out through practices. So this is the seat of the Kundalini. And the second chakra, Swadhisthana chakra, is in the center of our bellies. So most important in Taoist practice, this is for inner strength and vitality. So once this chakra is open, your whole vitality, also immune system, is totally different than before. You have a kind of deep inner power because this chakra actually is nourished from forces from the universe or from another dimension. And this is the most important to understand. It's not only your own energy, because in the yoga words, they also say this energy which opens the chakras, they call it Kundalini, is not an energy, it's more like a Shakti. Shakti is like an energy of God or goddess. So it's a female side of the universe which penetrates your whole body and every cell with new kind of wisdom, information, and a new understanding of what life is. I can talk more about the details later. Yeah. So see Manipura chakra also, this is the third one, solar plexus, emotional stability. And heart chakra, of course, it's for really open your heart for love, but has a lot of healing potential. This chakra at the throat with Soji chakra is very difficult to open because it goes in a very deep spiritual topic behind life and death. And the Anjana chakra, third eye, is about wisdom and insight. So here has a lot to do with telepathic abilities and more. And the Sarasara chakra is the connection to the spiritual realm, so like to another world. It's also important in Taoism, Buddhism, and yoga practice when we leave this world. So in this Asian traditions, we leave the world when it runs good through the Sahasrara chakra into another dimension. So here you see the three energy centers in Taoism, the three dantians, and the upper dantian is in the brain, and actually it's a combination of two chakras, the Sahasrara and the Anjana chakra, coming together. The heart chakra is the middle dantian, and in Taoist practice, when we activate the belly, we also actually activate this energy by making the navel warm, making the kidneys warm, but also by bringing in the energy from the perineum or the sexual energy into the belly. So in Taoist practice, actually, when you open the chakra in the belly, nearly at the same time, you also open the chakra, the Muladhara chakra at the base, so near the coccyx, which is connected to sexual energy. So you see, it's very, very similar in yoga and Taoism, because also in yoga, most practices are inside the brain, on the heart, or in your belly, or with the libido, or the energy from the perineum. So here you see all the meridians. Actually, the energy centers nourish the meridians, and we have some special meridians which are very important. And in yoga, the chakras, they nourish nadis, and nadis, in the literature, they have 72,000, so this is more a literature word means they have many, many, many nadis. So as you see here with the meridians and nadis are really filling the whole body. So I bring this together here. You see chakras and energy centers in Taoism are called dantians. They both have a connection. Chakras and nadis are connected, energy centers, meridians are connected. And the energy centers and the chakras have a deep potential in us, which is there, but it's not unfold. And to really unfold it, it will need different practice. I will talk about this. But generally, the chakras unfold gradually on different levels. So it's not 0 and 100. Normally, the chakra slowly opens step by step over some years until it reach a full deep level. When a chakra is fully open, this is when the yogis talk about Kundalini. Means the Kundalini energy works in the chakra. So, and Dr. Motoyama also had to see this, for example, that especially people in the West, they sometimes easily open the third eye or the crown, so the Anjana chakra and Sarasara chakra, but they didn't open the lower chakras. Maybe because of inborn talents, or can be from past life experience, who knows, that they have this ability. But when they have deep abilities, also Dr. Motoyama says, then the Kundalini in the chakra is opened, and they did a lot of research concerning this point. So generally, even yoga, it opens from the bottom, slowly up. It can open also where the most talents in people lie. This is a different view, but I also totally agree with this view. Here, there's one sentence which I really, really like. The chakra and meridian system has a universal significance. Every spiritual process is directly or indirectly linked to the activation of the chakras and energy centers. So, you see, even in certain traditions, for example, Zen Buddhism, they don't talk about energy centers or chakras. But if you research someone who did a lot of Zen practice, or if you research, for example, from Christianity, I go back here. So, sorry, yeah. If you, for example, research people who do a lot of praying and who come from Christianity or Bhakti yoga practice, Bhakti yoga is yoga of devotion. So if they do this long time, also their chakras, of course, blossomed up. And many people in Christianity who did a lot of prayer have an open heart chakra, even they don't know about this chakra. So this is very, very important message for us. And it was for me that no matter you know about the chakras or not, they show the level of your consciousness and your connection with the universe or with a higher field of existence. And actually the connection with yourself. Because this is what the chakras and the Kundalini do. They give you a different view and picture who you are or who I am. Because we start to interconnect with the deeper field. And slowly, slowly, slowly our individuum goes more in the background. So I return to these pictures here. And something changed, sorry, in this. This looks better. Full modus, yeah. So also important words, and I choose to write them down. So if you want to see the webinar again or to read it, it might more touch you in the heart, because I feel these are really important sentences. Like the chakra and meridian system allows human beings to connect to a timeless and spaceless realm of existence. And chi, or prana, is the medium for this connection. So, and the second sentence just follows, because of this fact, every form of paranormal abilities like clairvoyance, sending out energy, spiritual healing, but also deep understanding of who we are, is based on the activation of the chakra and meridian system. So Dr. Motoyama said here, so this is a quote, I like this quote, through the chakra and meridian system, humans become a manifestation of a universal energy and consciousness continuum. The physical aspect of a human being is then merely the proverbial tip of the iceberg. So you see, it's not about getting more energy. This definitely will happen. It's about really changing your whole view of life and becoming another being. So, how to open chakras and meridians? You see, if you look into all the traditions, normally they use a lot of meditation, can be active meditation or silence, but also body work and energy work. This is also what we do, or I do in my, with Davy together in my and her approach. But also, and please don't forget this, we look to number 4. If people generally just meditate and do body energy work, in many cases I don't saw deep results. Because there are many kinds of meditation, like meditation to calm down, to be stable again, and come back to your body, to feel more refreshed. But you see, nearly all spiritual traditions focus also on prayers, on studying sacred text, having special mantras or special approaches, rituals to gain more wisdom. And in my view, this is so important concerning all higher levels, because the basic levels of body work, energy work are to arrive in our center. But this sacred text or mantras, which are sacred words, change our view of life like a virus in our heart. It touches us in our heart deeper and deeper. And this is changing our view. And that's actually one of the key points in spiritual practice. This view changes generally slowly over the years. And it goes together with the opening to a next dimension. So what we generally use is a combination. I go back, here I can talk. Sorry. Wait a moment. Yeah, I go back out here. Yeah. What we generally teach is a combination of body work, energy work, meditation, and I love to put in mantras, and also, of course, philosophy from mystical Taoism, but also some essence from Buddhism, because what I didn't know before, maybe some of you also didn't know, this Eastern philosophy always influenced each other. So Buddhism came into China 200-300 years after Christ, and it changed many Taoist concepts. So they are not so separated as we think when we live in Europe. Actually, they all connect a little bit. That's also why the concept of Kundalini connects with the concept of 3 inner meridians in inner alchemy, and this connects also to the Tibetan concept of 3 meridians where you work with in inner practices. So you see there's a lot of interaction generally. Also concerning mantra practice, which I like a lot. I learned it by coincidence actually, and I didn't want to learn it first, but I had no idea how deep this can be. And from my own experience, now honestly speaking, if you live in our world now here, not in a monastery and not in a yoga school or something, connected with daily life work, it's nearly impossible from my view, just with meditation and some body exercise to reach a deep level. Because there's one benefit. Mantra practices you can do all the time in your day. Even you sit in a bus, you lie down in bed, you are tired, you can listen to a tape. If you have a walk. And this is a deep benefit because mantras sneak deeply in our heart. And they can change a lot in our unconsciousness and open new doors of existence. So that's why we also integrate mantras, and we also integrate healing sessions with which connect energy work and mantras. Why? Because people nowadays generally too busy, and in a class to touch someone or to help people to unleash their potential, which is potential for daily life but also spiritual potential, it needs actually moments of totally letting go, like becoming a child, totally empty. So no strategy to become better, because strategy to become better comes from the ego. So we try to create a space where the ego feels like no one needs me here. I just have free time. I can totally recover. And in this space, deep things can unfold. So this is one, so a little bit strategy, or one part of us, of our strategy, how we teach. And we found out people really like this because it brings a kind of easiness into the whole story. And another part is coaching exercises for daily life, or also one-by-one coachings, which we do, because the main sentence will be, if your daily life topics keep you busy, and you have to have a solution for them, because people are waiting for your answer in daily life concerning your job, your relation, how to have enough money, how to heal yourself. So if you have these topics in your mind and you have no answer, meditation often will not go deep. It will always be there, a little bit like as if you see a movie and there's always an advertisement going through for whatever, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, whatever goes through there, and you can't follow the story of the movie. And this happens with most of us. Our own story, our own topics always go on. And for this reason, we created some coaching exercise, and we put in some exercise for stress release, but also different kinds of communication, and a special coaching, if people like, one by one, to release old traumata and sometimes past life traumata, And we found out that people release traumas or release daily life topics or get an answer, that the chakras naturally start to open. So they not only open through meditation, they open through a deeper process and a deeper connection with yourself, actually. So I return for a moment to the slides here. Yeah. So this is what we teach, and you can ask some questions later. And this is the next picture. So why I didn't go into yoga tradition and I went into Taoist tradition was actually feeling in my heart years ago, because I found people in the society here are a lot in the head, and the same was with me. So there's a lot of thinking, doing, and the last 20 years even more because of computer, internet, mobile phone. And if you are in the head, very difficult to get grounded. And you see here a lot of energy is in your head and only very few energy in your heart. So the key point in Taoist practice is to change this triangle around, and there are many exercises to really get grounded, other exercise for inner stability. And this is so important because also from the research of Motoyama's university, if the belly is strong as an energy centers, then all the chakras can open up easily. But if you're weak in your belly, it's difficult that this kundalini or the deep power goes up into your body because the higher chakras are not nourished. And there's one secret point, for example, or not secret for me before, but not for everyone. The lower chakra, the Muladhara, which is connected with the sexual energy, when you can activate this energy, it has a direct connection to the third eye. You see, vice versa, if this chakra has no power and the belly is empty, very difficult in normal cases now to open the third eye. Yeah. So that's also why we have, here you see this connection also when the belly is warm, full of qi, that at the same time the brain is nourished and relaxed, and also the energy balance between both brain and belly, and also much more easy to open the higher energy centers. And also the last part is we imply many different forms of body work or of Qigong, for example, water Qigong, Shaolin Qigong, but also iron shirt, but Daoyin is more for lower back stretching. Because all this body work is not only to get a connection to your belly, the way how we are connected with our body and how we express ourselves with our body has to do also with the way how we are living. And if you do different exercises for the body, you will definitely develop many new qualities. For example, different exercises in the body of stability, but also fast exercises, refreshing exercises, connect you deeply to your whole body, and they will create, for example, hope, self-esteem, inner security, inner strength, the ability for good relations, and more and more. And this is a key point for nowadays, because many people are not deeply connected in the body, so they cannot develop these important qualities. And it needs self-esteem first to grow beyond the limits of your personality. And it needs hope in us to take a deep step forward. So this may be only one deeper idea of the whole thing. Yeah. So if you meditate longer and some chakras start to open, I love this picture. It actually feels like this. You see, as if your body is transparent. Here, even birds flying out, and the universe and your body already interact, which also means many informations actually come from the universe or from a higher dimension and enter your cells or enter your consciousness. Yeah, and okay. This was my introduction. I need a little bit longer, sorry. We also start a little bit later. And we can do a short meditation if you like. Who likes a short meditation? Yeah. So we will just we form a lotus flower with our hands. We just see a kind of lotus flower also. And we use this flower to open the heart. And then I will lead you further to step 2 and 3. And in the second part, maybe after 5-6 minutes, I just talked about mantras, so I will sing 1 or 2 mantras and you can just enjoy it and let go. Yeah. All right. And so that you not get bored, only look at me. You can, if you don't know how the flower should look like, you just look at this flower here. But you can close your eyes. So, and the meditation is also here to open the heart chakra, but at the same time also to develop some qualities when the chakra opens. And the qualities have to do with feeling the others. Okay, so let's close the eyes. And just drop into your heart and your hands forming a kind of flower, lotus flower. And I drop with my inner eyes into my heart. And breathing in, my hands open, the flower opens. Breathing out, the flower closes. Lotus flower is also a symbol of purity and essence. I breathe in, the flower opens. I breathe out, the flower closes. If you are advanced, you can also breathing in through your third eye into your heart. And breathing out, you feel that the light from your third eye is penetrating every part of this flower and of your heart. While the flower opens, your heart slowly starts to open. as if your heart opens into a new dimension, not only your physical heart, also a deeper point inside, which is connected with whole life, like an inner infinity can slowly shine through. And now I can move the flower and my hands more to the chest, as if the lotus flower becomes one with my heart inside. And from my heart, from this infinity inside my chest, from this inner space, it's shining like a light into my whole chest. Into my whole being. And now, from this inner connection with myself, I can feel all the other people who take part now in this webinar. Just feel the people, as if your heart is shining out to them. We are all connected. And what do they need to unleash their potential? What do they need to find happiness and peace? What do they need to diminish suffering in this life? Just feel for a moment if your heart is shining to all of them and their heart shining back. Is there coming a picture? There might be different pictures, the feeling. And you can give an answer later in the chat. And now just relax deeply. Connect maybe with your heart and with the group. Or just be in your heart. Forget yourself. And I use the mantra to open your heart even deeper. This is the mantra Namo Amitabhaya, the mantra of light. Most important, just keep your eyes closed. Forget everything. Be empty, transparent. Namo Amitabhaya, Namo Amitabhaya, Namo Amitabhaya, Namo Amitabhaya. Namo Amitabhaya, Namo Amitabhaya, Namo Amitabhaya, Namo Amitabhaya, Namo Amitabhaya, Namo Amitabhaya. Namo Amitabhaya, Namo Amitabhaya, Namo Amitabhaya. Okay, you can just relax for a moment. Just let go. And then you can, if you like, slowly come back. It can be nice to massage with the hands around your belly or blow a wind into your palms. Put the warm hands on your eyes. Just touch yourself. Yeah. So, sorry, needed a little bit longer than I thought. We started a bit later. But I hope there are still some questions or feedbacks and yeah, maybe insights what you saw in this meditation or questions you have. And I give back to Devi, she can take over. And then we see maybe there's something in the chat or you want to raise your hand. Yeah.
So I hope you enjoyed this session, meditation with mantra. And we were always happy to hear your feedback, anything that came up, or maybe some questions regarding the webinar. Most of the time after the meditation, everybody's silent. It's also good. So like I said before, this is a pretty important topic for Karsten and me, because this is really, we put our heart and soul into this, how we bring people further. And we're happy to find a way. It doesn't have to be the only way, but we found a certain way to bring people to a point where they really can open the chakras. And if they want, they can open the Kundalini. We already have people who made experiences in our classes, and actually that's really how we want to help people. We have some familiar faces also in this group. There's also Hilmar, who has joined us for a few years already, and I would like to invite him if he would like to share some words, so people also can hear from our friends who join us how they experienced this pathway. Hilmar? So I'll bring him into the... Yes, here is Hilmar.
Yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, I'm still kind of under the impression of the meditation. Maybe a few words about my background. I'm a philosopher and I'm also a psychotherapist. And when I met Carsten about, I think a bit more than 10 years ago, we often kind of chatted about, I teach kind of philosophy of religion and also Asian philosophy. We often talked about mysticism, kind of from Carsten from the experiential perspective, and I'm a bit more from a scholarly one. But what I really kind of appreciate in this approach is, so also as I saw it developing, is kind of how that what I do in my scholarly work, kind of comparing kind of also different philosophical tradition, but that in Carsten's approach is really kind of lived practice and kind of how these overlappings, kind of what these different religious and spiritual traditions have in common in terms of their ultimate goals and this understanding of what transcendence or ultimate reality actually is, that is something that can be really kind of experienced and felt in this approach. And from my more kind of psychoanalytic and psychotherapeutic perspective, one problem what is often talked about in spiritual traditions that some people seek out spiritual paths, and in the process kind of spiritually bypass kind of their personal issues and problems. So basically, instead of doing psychotherapy, sitting down on a cushion and meditate. And it works up to a point, but often enough, kind of the problems which are there come back later and kind of impede the process. And what I really, so speaking kind of with my psychotherapist said, what I really appreciate in kind of the work you do is kind of this sensitivity that the spiritual path is combined with coaching work, with therapeutic work, like from energetic psychotherapy, because it really speeds up the process and also prevents kind of some dead ends in the spiritual process, because kind of also the personal things get worked through in conjunction with the spiritual work. And I find that from my personal experience and my own practice, very, very fruitful and very enriching and opening, and very grateful for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hilmar.
Yeah.
Yes, so Hilmar is also teaching in the University of Massachusetts, so we learn a lot from him too. So I also appreciate our exchange. Yeah, so that I would like to add that what Hilmar also said is that we really like to make the Tao or anything mystical or anything spiritual really graspable, so you can feel it, so you can experience it. It's not just words, it's not just meditation. You will integrate it into your life and you will see a change. And yeah, that's what we stand for. Yeah, I hope this came across, and thank you, Hilmar, again. Is there anybody else who would like to share something? How are you? How are you feeling after this session?
And can you hear me? Yeah, you can also ask a question, because actually what I talked about is a bit dry theory and might sound like I connected some things from different books, but when you ask a question, it might get much more interesting, because from my view, also Hilmar agreed in a certain way. The interesting part is how to really make this true. It's not the theory about the chakras. This is just the foundation. And we worked for years in this interaction of what practice is most important, or how can people really improve. And also by doing coachings, we learned really a lot the last years. So yeah, maybe if you have a question, I can help you, or David can help you to answer.
You can also raise your hand, and then I'll open up your microphone so you can talk. But I can see Annemie Janssens, she's writing, "The chanting went the deepest for me. Can you tell me a bit more on your practice programs?"
What is practice program? What does this mean? Our training, or?
Yes, Annemie, would you like to know how we teach? So we have different programs. We have like separate modules or seminars, but we also have longer retreats during the summer, also one in Holland in English. And in November, the 23rd of November, we have an online class. So anyone can join, you don't have to travel anywhere, where we will focus more on the higher dantians, like the higher energy centers. But of course, the Taoist perspective is to connect all the energy centers so that the higher energy centers can blossom more. That will be the 23rd of November. So we do have different kinds of practice programs. We also have a training in Germany starting this month. It will be in German. If German is not a problem for you, you can join for 1.5 years. So that's really an immersion, like a really dive into our programs. And otherwise, I can send you some links. I have your email address with all the things we do. Right.
And I can add something to Annemie. Can I add something? Hello? Am I online now, Davy?
Yes, you are online.
Okay. Yeah. So we give trainings also, but you don't have to take part in the training. But training is also for people who teach. But what we found out is really practical if people combine the daily practice with a certain goal. So daily practice with certain goal means you do a certain mantra or a certain practice until you master that. It's different from just doing your daily routine to feel good or to balance. So daily practice with intense retreats, and if you like, in between, maybe once or twice a year, have a coaching, then you can have great results. For example, just now in this mantra session, with not only mantra session, we combine actually with the essence of the heart meditation, because we connected to our heart. So the mantra worked deeper. Yeah? So you see here already two things come together. And for progress retreats and your daily program with the coaching where you get more aligned is wonderful. And in 2-3 years, you can really make deep progresses. Yeah, this is my understanding. And we saw this with many people. And most important in practice is also that you have a question. Where you really want to be in 2 years. So where does it drag you to? Yeah. This hunger is important. If you have the hunger, you get the food. So live it like this. Yeah. Because you see, nowadays I see many people who just repeat the things they learned years ago, and they feel good, and they learn maybe an extra form in this, or an extra element in this. Like for me, I had a school for martial arts and Qigong when I was younger, but I felt at a certain limit, no, I cannot go on with this. For deeper meditations, I must let this go and go to the next level. And then later I learned mantras. So why? Because they come into your life, or things come into your life when you walk forward. And that's most important for me to see that. Where you want to go, what you want to reach. And it can be health, can be vitality, can be new relationship, new job. But actually everything is connected. Our health, our job, spirituality, it's one story, like a good movie, or sometimes a bad movie, and we try to make it better. Yes. Okay. Anyone else at the end? No one there. I see Florian, a friend of mine in the background also. Hello, Florian. Any sharings from you? I always like your sharings. Did you like this webinar? You can.
Well, I certainly did like the seminar. And it's difficult to say with words what someone feels is like translating things that one can't translate. So I'd rather not speak too much, but I quite enjoyed this.
Thank you very much.
I'm very grateful to you and David and to the other people on here, right?
Thank you. I even felt a little bit nervous because I had to talk English all the time, and I spoke a lot of German the last month, so, but I hope you got something. Okay, so no further questions, we are done. And
so I just want to add that we are always open for your feedback. You can always email us if you have some insights afterwards or some questions that pop up later, where you can always reach us. And other than that, I also want to thank everyone. We were a bit excited because it's in English. It's we're opening up the English-speaking realm. We're always in Germany or in German, and now doing it in English and reaching out to people in Holland, Belgium, and beyond is very exciting for us. And so I just want to add that we have 2 possibilities to connect with us again. That's the online course, 23rd of November, and the summer week in July next year. So that's a whole immersion, like a deep retreat of 7 days, which will bring you into these topics, and it will make more sense if you dive into a few days, because you put it in practice and everything gets more context. So you're also invited to that course. And other than that, I would like to invite you for the online class 23rd of November. Anyone who is here wanted to join the webinar can have a reduction of 30 euros. So that's my last offer. All right. So
Okay.
thank you. Thank you for coming, Karsten.
Yeah, also thank you for coming. It was great to see you. And this online class actually has one special point inside. It's actually more about activating the third eye, but we didn't want to write it so in the advertisement. Sounds a bit simple, but it focuses on the third eye, but also on strong brain ability, because I sensed many people nowadays are tired in the brain and in the head. So this webinar is more for really build up the brain ability, but also the ability that the third eye opens. So this is very special practice, and I love it a lot. If you have time, you can join. So thank you, Davey. Thank you, everyone, for being there. It was a pleasure to see you, and I hope we see us again. All right. So wonderful evening, and enjoy maybe the dinner tonight.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.